Have you ever wondered why your life feels quieter than everyone else's? Why other people always seem to be surrounded by noise, endless invitations, buzzing group chats, and circles of friends, while your phone barely lights up? At first, that silence feels heavy. It feels like loneliness, as if maybe you're falling short in places where others succeed. We start to believe that being alone is proof of weakness or even failure. But what if the truth is completely different? What if that quiet isn't a curse at all, but a clue? A clue that you're not broken. You're rare. That the absence of constant company doesn't mean something is wrong with you, but rather that something is powerfully right. History's greatest minds understood this better than anyone. Albert Einstein once admitted that solitude was not just helpful, but absolutely essential for his creativity. He needed silence, time, and space to think. Without it, his clarity would vanish, and with it, his genius. Long before Einstein, the Stoic philosophers taught the same lesson. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a person who is truly at peace with themselves is never truly alone. Epictetus urged his students to guard their circle carefully, warning that the wrong company can corrupt character faster than you realize. And Seneca, the great Roman thinker, reminded us that it is better to walk alone than to follow a crowd rushing toward emptiness. Think about that for a moment. If some of history's most brilliant, disciplined, and wise minds found strength in solitude, what does that say about you? Maybe your quiet path isn't proof of emptiness, but of depth. Maybe your lack of constant companions doesn't reveal weakness, but resilience. And maybe the fact that you don't fit into every group is the strongest sign that you were never meant to. So instead of asking, "Why don't I have more friends?" perhaps the better question is, what does this silence make possible for me? One, depth doesn't thrive in shallow waters. Now let's take a deeper look. Have you ever tried to share something truly meaningful with people who only care about gossip, trends, or distractions? Maybe you wanted to talk about a dream, a challenge, or a thought that really mattered to you. But the conversation just died on the spot. Their eyes glazed over. The room went quiet. And in that moment, it felt like you were speaking a different language. That can sting. It feels isolating when others can't or won't meet you on the same level. But here's the truth. That mismatch is not proof that something is wrong with you. It's proof that you don't belong in shallow waters. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are rich, reflective, and intentional, then shallow conversations will never feel like home. You're tuned to a different frequency, one that doesn't resonate with surface-level chatter. And that's not a flaw. That's strength. Look around. Many people connect quickly because their relationships don't demand much. A few laughs, some entertainment, and a bit of convenience. That's enough. But if what you crave is honesty, loyalty, and depth, then you won't click with just anyone. That makes your circle smaller, yes, but it also makes it real. It's like this. Being rare means you can't be everywhere at once. And that's okay, because being rare also means that when you finally do find people who understand you, the bond will be far stronger than any shallow connection could ever be. So the next time you feel left out, remind yourself, you're not being left behind. You're being filtered out of places you were never meant to fit into in the first place. Depth doesn't thrive in shallow waters, and neither do you. 2. Solitude is the training ground of self-mastery. Have you ever noticed how uncomfortable most people are with silence? The moment they're alone, they reach for their phone, turn on the TV, or scroll endlessly, anything to avoid sitting quietly with their own thoughts. Why? Because silence forces us to face ourselves. And that can be terrifying. This is why so many people chase constant company. It's not always because they love being around others. Sometimes it's because they fear being alone with their own mind. But here's where solitude becomes powerful. If you can endure the quiet, if you can sit with yourself without feeling like you're breaking, then you're already stronger than most. Epictetus once told his students, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. What he meant was this: the path of growth often looks strange from the outside. When you choose solitude over empty company, people may call you antisocial, cold, or even broken. But in reality, you're training your spirit. You're building the skill of anchoring your peace within. Think of it this way. Who is truly free? The person who needs constant chatter to survive, or the person who can stand alone in silence and still feel complete? Real strength is not about never feeling lonely. It's about learning to be at peace with yourself so that loneliness loses its grip on you. Solitude is not punishment, it's practice. Every moment you spend mastering yourself in silence is like forging steel in fire. When the storms of life hit, you won't crumble, because you've already learned to stand strong without needing the noise of the crowd. So if you find yourself walking a quiet road, don't mistake it for weakness. See it for what it is: training. And training always leads to strength. 3. Quality outweighs quantity, every time. Picture this with me. At one table, 20 people are talking over each other, laughing at half-hearted jokes and sharing moments that vanish as quickly as they arrive. The room is loud, but it's hollow. At another table, there are just 2 people, no noise, no crowd, but every word exchanged is genuine. Every silence feels safe. Which table would you rather sit at? The answer reveals something powerful. Real connection has nothing to do with numbers. It has everything to do with nourishment. Seneca once said, "Associate with people who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you can make better." What matters is not how many names are in your contact list, but whether those names actually bring light, strength, and growth into your life. Think about your own relationships. How many of them leave you drained rather than inspired? How many friendships exist only out of habit, convenience, or fear of being alone? 100 shallow connections may keep you busy, but they rarely keep you fulfilled. One loyal companion, someone who sees you, supports you, and challenges you to grow, can be worth more than all the rest combined. So if your life feels quiet right now, don't see that as emptiness. See it as filtration. You're refusing to sell your energy cheaply. You're protecting your soul from the exhaustion of trying to maintain bonds that have no roots. You are choosing quality over quantity, and that's one of the wisest choices you can make. Because in the end, when life tests you, it won't be the crowd of acquaintances that stand by your side. It will be the rare, genuine few. And sometimes even just one true friend can carry more weight than 1,000 empty names. 4. The right people appear in the right season. Nature has a way of teaching us patience. Flowers don't bloom in winter. Fruit doesn't ripen overnight. Yet somehow we expect friendships, the deep, meaningful kind, to appear instantly, as if the right people should arrive on demand. But life doesn't work that way. The Stoics warned us against this illusion. We cannot control who enters or leaves our lives. We cannot force someone to understand us, value us, or stay with us. What we can do is remain authentic, clear in our values, firm in who we are. And here's the beautiful truth. When you stand in that authenticity, your values act like a beacon. Slowly, sometimes very slowly, the right people begin to notice. The ones who share your depth, your integrity, your vision, they're drawn to your light. But if you dim that light just to fit in with the wrong crowd, you risk becoming invisible to the people who might have truly valued you. Think of it like a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships. It simply shines. And in shining, it guides the right ones safely to shore. That's exactly how authentic friendships work. When you stay true to yourself, even in solitude, you create the conditions for the right hearts to find you. So if your circle feels empty right now, don't rush to fill it. Don't settle for the wrong company out of fear. Instead, keep building yourself, your mind, your character, your peace. Because when the right people appear, they won't demand that you shrink. They'll recognize your depth because they carry their own. And those bonds, forged in truth and timing, will last far longer than anything built out of convenience. So let's bring this all together. The lack of friends in your life is not proof that you're unworthy. It's proof that you refuse to settle. It's proof that your standards are higher than hollow connections, that your light is too strong to be hidden among shallow crowds. Remember this: Einstein found his genius in solitude. Marcus Aurelius discovered calm in himself. Seneca warned that the crowd is often misguided, and Epictetus taught that true growth begins when you can master your own mind. Great souls are rarely understood at first glance. Depth attracts depth, but slowly. That's why this season of solitude isn't wasted time. It's preparation. It's your forge. It's where resilience, clarity, and self-respect are formed. Because when the right people finally appear, they won't be rescuers from your loneliness. They'll be companions to your fullness. They won't demand that you shrink or compromise your values. They'll recognize your strength because they carry their own. So, the next time you feel the sting of emptiness, remind yourself, it's better to stand alone in truth than to sit surrounded in lies. Don't chase what does not nourish you. Don't confuse being surrounded with being fulfilled. And never forget, peace in solitude is far greater than chaos in company. Now, if this message spoke to you, I want you to do 3 things. First, hit that subscribe button to keep growing your inner strength and peace every single day. Second, give this video a like so more people who need this reminder can find it. And third, write in the comments, I value quality over quantity. That way, I'll know you stayed until the end and that you're choosing the path of true strength.